Yes.
We're back.
Right, let's go.
Oh, I thought that was the start.
Yes, people, welcome back to another Weighed In, the show where we weigh in about who's getting weighed in. Myself, Stevo The Madman.
Myself, McKola.
And I'm Savage Dan.
Yes, and we're gonna be looking back at a massive 2018, as well as looking forward to what 2019 brings. Now, boys, most importantly, we're gonna be getting into the Dereck Chisora, Dillian Whyte fight. Now, these two genuinely seem to hate each other. You spoke with them, obviously, on the last episode of Weighed In.
Yeah.
Does he hate him? Is it hate?
No, it's not hate, but there's a thing. They're not fond of each other. I wouldn't go as far as hate, but they're quite similar characters.
Is it?
I think. Yeah, I think they're both quite tense.
I think they're both quite misunderstood as well.
Yeah.
And I think they both kind of keep their guard up when they're
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
like media and stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Dereck Chisora, Dillian Whyte preview, let's get in some comments.
Let's do it.
So these comments are from the Dillian Whyte episode. First comment comes from Nobody Zero. He says, Dillian Whyte has become the most dangerous fighter in the heavyweight division by far. You can bet Joshua is glad he stopped him early and Wilder is absolutely terrified of him. Do you think?
Nah, I don't think so. Wilder's taken risky fights. He took Ortiz. That was voluntary as well.
Yeah, but again, a lot of people, and I agree, Ortiz is old.
He's old, but he's dangerous, man.
I think absolutely terrified is obviously a strong word. I don't think people are actually terrified of anybody. But maybe doesn't come with the financial reward of an AJ or a Wilder or a Fury. I was about to say as good as them. It's probably not as good as Fury and AJ, but he's not far off them.
Yeah.
He's as dangerous.
Maximum risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Minimum reward.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll go for that.
Next comment comes from Kane Zeke. I agree, Wilder's days are numbered. No more bums to fight.
Well, he's beaten some decent fighters recently in Ortiz.
I think he was outboxed, which I didn't expect. Which I expected, but
He went a
I
distance.
didn't expect him to hang in there as long with Fury, and then
Still haven't.
put him down and be able to.
Yeah. A lot of fighters, when you're fighting Fury, by the 6th round, your heart's broken, man. Like, you just feel like you've got nothing. He didn't panic. He didn't panic. He kept going. He knows he's technically flawed. Wilder's number one attribute isn't his head movement or his technique. It's just the power. And he's got 36 minutes to land a bomb, and he usually does it.
Okay. Next one comes from Boy. Anyone not a boxer talking publicly about boxing has no boxing knowledge according to every comment under a boxing video ever.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, boxing
Correct,
fans are very
Everyone, what have you been to boxing fights, innit? Yeah. Everyone in the crowd's just like, yeah, I did a bit.
Everyone's been a boxer. Everyone's been a boxer, but no one
I
made
could have
it.
been world champ, but my knees.
Daniel Bromley said, as soon as I heard someone say Brooke is better boxer than Khan, I lost all interest.
Who said that?
Who said that?
It's probably me. I think he is. I think he's a better boxer. Definitely.
That doesn't mean, because people see boxing as how slick you look. That's not
I think
necessarily...
I think people think that just because someone's better than someone at boxing doesn't mean you win. It's never worked like that. And if that was the case, we'd never have an upset ever or
true. Very
anything
true.
close. Just because you're better at boxing, all you need is one attribute that you're better than someone else at, and you use that or you find their weakness.
Fury Wilder, biggest
Yeah,
example.
yeah. That's it.
Okay. Hot video. Let Fury punch any of you and we'll see who's got power. Who said he hasn't got power?
Me, but
Oh, the thing
I
is,
hate stuff like it's like when I say
people-
Lukaku's not great, he's better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's
We're
not
talking
great.
relative, yeah? So he doesn't punch like you'd expect a heavyweight to punch. Of course he can still punch hard, and harder than the majority of humans on the planet. Of course, these are professional fighters.
And the last comment comes from Salaristics, and it says, Stevo for president.
Stevo for president. Is that how you spell Stevo?
Savage Dan. Savage Dan for president. Yes, guys,
I'll do a better job than Trump, probably.
Oh, that ain't hard, is it really?
How we gonna get down?
Right, let's get on with the show, boys. Let's start with Rocky Fielding, Canelo Alvarez. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Stayed
as well.
up?
It's a good fight, yeah. Stayed up.
look a
On the
bit
card was
tired.
okay.
Now, we all saw it coming. Alvarez, I'd like to think we all saw him, he was going to win.
Yeah.
But he done good, though. He done what he needed to do, right?
Yeah, he looked very good.
Body shots.
Yeah, mad.
The thing is, I noticed it from the second fight with Golovkin when in the build up to the fight, he looked like he was getting under, like when he was training, getting under shots and just whipping to the body very fast. And he's become a ferocious body puncher.
What now for Rocky Fielding?
I don't know where he goes next.
Do you think the moment made him go chest to chest, or?
I think he must have thought, I know this guy's more skillful than me. But I'm bigger. I'm bigger. I'm used to this weight. Maybe I'm gonna go straight after him.
I think it's just levels, isn't it?
Let's just be honest.
Just
like Rocky
Canelo
Fielding is a
different grade.
in terms of skill, Rocky Fielding isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. But he's a big boy, tough, can punch. But against someone that skillful, I feel like you just got to kind of keep them.
Do you think he had to defend his title against Canelo first? He never got a chance to.
Well, it's good money, I presume.
Yeah.
You're getting like you'd rather defend your title against him than some European guy that is your mandatory.
What do you think of Canelo at super middleweight?
He looked good, but it's hard to tell, man. I think at 168, I would love to see him in there with like Jacobs. I think he can be beat by those kind of moving guys. It's hard to tell when you've just fought Rocky Fielding and beat him how good you can be at 168. There's killers up there.
So Alvarez has been booked in for May the 4th, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a middleweight fight.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Apparently, it should be an American fighter, but after that, they're talking about Callum Smith at Wembley, Golden Boy.
Oh, please bring Canelo to England.
Yeah,
please.
I would love
see
that.
this guy fight.
I think it's a great fight. If it's 160, if they're talking about him fighting Callum Smith,
Not
next, but as in the future, I'd imagine it's probably best to stay at 168 because Callum Smith's a giant.
So what, to get used to that weight?
Yeah, well, they're saying an American like super middle.
No,
middleweight.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who would it be?
Yeah. Who do you think?
Would Jacobs come back down?
I don't think Jacobs would fancy coming down, really.
I think he's fought his whole life at 160. He can make 160. If it's, I'm taking it, May the 4th will be a Cinco de Mayo. Against an American middleweight, it could be a Charlo brother.
Oh.
It's a good fight. They got belts.
Yes, and they're good. Are they Canelo standard?
Big money.
That's they both fancy beating Canelo. So it could be one of them. I hope it's one of them. Risky fight, but I don't know. I can't really. We know that Canelo's in this new DAZN deal. 11 fights. He's one fight in. Would you want to go straight?
They're gonna pace that. Yeah. They're gonna be looking.
Would you want to go straight after a Charlo brother?
Yeah, but there's not much.
There's loads, man.
Yeah.
There's loads. They'll find other fighters. I mean, he's picked Rocky Fielding because he considered him easy pickings and a belt. I would love to see him fight a Charlo brother. I can't see it happening just yet.
I think that's 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, people, what do you think? Who would you like to see Canelo fight next? What next for Rocky Fielding? And could Callum Smith beat Canelo?
How we gonna get down?
Now let's get into our end of year lists and see who is in the list for fight of the year. We've got some big ones in this. And you guys have been voting on YouTube as well to see who your winner was. The shortlist is as follows: Linares against Lomachenko, Bashir against Romain, Wilder versus Fury, Chisora versus Takam, Golovkin against Canelo.
But there's been a lot of good
If
fights.
you had to pick one, what are you picking out of that shortlist?
It would be the Golovkin Canelo.
Me too.
Or the Wilder Fury. And I'm not sure which one I'll go for.
I'm saying my personal favourite is Golovkin Alvarez.
I'd go Wilder Fury, and my mind's made up by the last round. It's seeing Fury down in the last round, and you think he's gone.
Yeah.
And then it changed like that.
Yeah.
And you also went in the fight from going, Fury's won this clearly on points, to, oh no, please get up, Fury.
Yeah,
I'd take a draw now.
Yeah.
And then when the draw was made, we were like, never a draw.
No, I think I would give it to that fight as well. It had a lot of everything. I mean, this tipped over a few times.
If the president says that that's the fight of the year, I'm gonna go with it. So that's what we're saying.
The results are in as well, and Wilder versus Fury won it with 64% of the vote.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that last round has swayed a lot of people's minds.
Listen, what we want to see in fights of the year is action. And loads of it happened in that fight.
What's amazing is Takam Chisora, which no one expected much from, got 15% of the vote, the same as Triple G Canelo.
Yeah.
That was an amazing fight.
I don't agree with that.
It was a great fight. And it was a great night for boxing.
Yeah.
Like I said, you had Dave Allen beating Webb that night.
So, just to close this, your favourite fight of the year?
Wilder Fury.
Webb Allen.
Wilder Fury.
How we gonna get down?
Now, we asked you guys on the YouTube who you thought fighter of the year was. We went through all the answers, and the nominees are Alexander Usyk, Terence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez for fighter of the year.
It's a tough one for me. I'm not going to give it to Lomachenko because I feel like he's won fights that I would expect him to win.
Okay.
Terence Crawford, he's won the WBO, beat Jeff Horn for it. I'm not even though he's had a great year, I'm not going to give it to him. So for me, it falls down to Alexander Usyk and Alvarez. Usyk's achieved the most, I'd say, in unifying the division and doing that. Great win over Bellew. But Canelo Alvarez, for me, may have had a better one in the fact that he's won fights that I wouldn't have expected him to win.
Okay.
I thought he would get beat by Golovkin, and he shocked me, and he did it in good fashion as well. So although in my head Usyk's achieved more, I'm going to give it to Alvarez.
Like, I haven't seen the results of this, but I don't think Canelo wins it. And do you think that's partly because the whole Golden Boy thing and the whole decisions, or do you think it's because of the drug thing that happened recently? Because he does seem to have lost. Like, when everyone gets excited about, Usyk's amazing, Lomachenko's amazing, Golovkin's amazing. Obviously, they are great fighters, but Canelo is up there, if not above all of them.
Let's see the results, and then that might sway you a little bit. So,
Cool.
So the results were Terence Crawford, he got 8% of the votes. Lomachenko, 15% of the votes. Alvarez, 17% of the votes. Usyk, 61% of the votes. So these guys think that Usyk is fighter of the year by a long, long way.
After seeing this poll, I switch over to Usyk as well. Only because I just realised that Canelo's 2 wins, although one was a very good win, the other one was against Rocky Ford and we all expected it. And Usyk's won 3 world titles and 3 world title fights and done it on the road. Obviously, watching Usyk from ringside, you get to see it really unravel. And like he was really, really, really good on the night. And you could just see that, Bellew was giving him trouble for the first couple of rounds, but he kind of sussed it out and then systematically started to break him down.
In boxing, right?
In-ring adjustment, man. Yeah. He's the best.
So I think it's by a country mile. Usyk is fighter of the year, voted by you guys. Do the rest of you agree? Let us know what you think in the comments.
How we gonna get down?
All right, let's talk about 2019. Now, if you're looking forward, if you could look into the future, 2019, who would you predict would be fighter of the year next year?
Ooh, it's a tough one.
AJ?
So I don't think you can put AJ there. Obviously, I think potential's there for him if he, even if he fights White. Let's say he fights White too. White's a huge fight still.
Yeah.
So that could go very exciting, and it's an outstanding win. But then it depends on that next fight. Yeah. Who's next? If it's not Wilder or Fury,
that's the thing.
His stock's gonna drop.
He might not even get that much credit for beating White again because, in essence, he should beat White. You beat him already.
Everyone knows in boxing that White's improved.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. But still, AJ would go into that fight as a favourite, and probably overwhelming favourite. I don't think AJ will get the plaudits he thinks he deserves until he gets rid of Wilder and or Fury.
You've got to pick one fighter for fighter of the year next year. I need a decision.
He knows his go-tos, let me think.
Who you say?
I'm probably going to go Errol Spence because I think next year we'll get good fights out of 147 and I think he'll probably clean up 1 or 2 more world titles.
So this time next year you're saying Errol Spence will be calling out his name for fighter of the year?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, a lot of people are avoiding him at the moment. I think we'll get that Terence Crawford fight. Obviously, the Porter fight, which is, from what I hear, very easy for them to make. Furman should be back. he's either going to have to just give up his belt or he's going to have to. That's what I'm saying. I think 147 has exciting fights for next year.
Errol Spence.
I think it could be, if Spence and Crawford fight, could be the winner of that. It's probably the fight this year that's coming into it with more, like, the most meaningful fight of this year. But I'll go for Canelo or Loma. Canelo. I think going up them weights, I think he's got some plans, and I think he's going to try and get 3-4.
I just don't think he'll do it next year.
You don't?
No. 10 fights left.
So, Stevo, who's yours? Your twin making it, maybe?
Bro, I'm an AJ stan. Yeah. If he does get the 2 fights next year, the big one, I'm saying, if he gets one of the fighters he wants in April 13th, gets another one. Don't know who it would be, but 2 big fighters in that division. He has to get it because he's undefeated.
Yeah.
And he might be the only undefeated one in that division out of the top ones by the end of that year.
Yeah, potentially.
Here you go,
We
mate.
need that Fury.
What do you guys think? Who do you think 2019 is going to be fighter of the year? Who will we be talking about this time next year? Leave some answers in the comments. So this part of the show, we're going to look forward to next year and see who we think are the emerging fighters to watch out for. I'll start with you, Ad. Who do you think, bro?
Little bit biased. I'll go with Raza Hamza. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. Grown up with him for a long time, and see, he's had 10 professional fights now. He's signed to Frank Warren. I don't think any of the fights that he has had have really been the level that he would want to have those fights at. So he's got to test himself at higher levels. But when he has been trying to get those big fights, they just haven't been happening. Had a few shows called off and things like that. So I'm hoping 2019 is the year that you get to see more from Raza Hamza. Featherweight, talented boxer, quick feet, quick hands, and he's a big talent, man. Good luck to him.
I'm intrigued to see Dion Juma. So he's one of my friends as well. Very good fighter, cruiserweight, 2 stoppages in the last 2 months.
Yeah, massive.
No, yeah, he's a cruiser, a big cruiser, or a stocky cruiser. But last 2 fights, early stoppages, good. Just a very, very skillful fighter. And anyone who kind of followed the amateur scene will know exactly who he is. He won 2 ABAs. Was on the GB squad. Like, he's a very, very good fighter, and I think he'll come for the cruiserweight division big time next year. Just won the Commonwealth belt. Southern area. He'll go get the Commonwealth, and the rest. So I think this will be his coming out year, and it's a good age. He's 29, so very, very good age for a cruiser, like a big boy, kind of kick on now for the next few years. So yeah, I would say him.
Seeing as you lot are pushing your friends, I'm going to push one of my friends, my cousin, Tevin Farmer. Boxer.
Genuine cousin?
No, we're just black. We're the same, we're cousins. Okay. No, but I used to speak to Tevin years ago when he was. I don't even think he had his first professional fight. Yeah. That's how long ago I've been speaking to him, and to see that he's a world champion now. He fought on the undercard of the Canelo fight, Rocky Fielding fight the other day. Yeah. Bro,
look good as well.
He's so slick. The first video I saw of him and what I posted of him was him doing head movement. Bro, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If it wasn't for him, there's a burglary or something like that, and he ended up getting a damaged hand and he was out for a year, we'd be talking about him 2018.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm saying for me,
difficult division as well.
Very difficult division.
You've got Davis in there.
That's who he keeps calling out. That's who he wants.
Fight. Hopefully he gets it.
He believes he can beat him. I've spoke to him and he really believes he can beat him, but he's gonna. All boxers believe they could beat everyone, and he
that's
should
the crazy thing. They're all just
fighters, man.
So that's he's my pick for next year, man. Again, what do you guys think? Who do you see emerging in 2019? Leave a list of names, man.
How we gonna get down?
Staying on 2019, if you guys could pick one dream fight for next year, who would it be? Why? Why would you want to see that fight, and how do you think it would go?
I want AJ to beat Wilder, so you get to see that already. And then him fight Fury for the undisputed, all the bouts on the line. I think Wilder would be a better fight.
Yeah, of course, it's a firefight. Yeah. Whereas Fury's always going to try and diffuse. But if I could get one fight next year, it would be AJ Wilder, I think.
Spence.
Crawford. Big fight.
Khan, Brook.
Yeah, I'd rather. I want to see any of those at 147. I want to see Furman, Spence. Remember, Furman's still unbeaten. I would happily.
I think Khan's bottom of the rankings with all them names you just mentioned, obviously.
Yeah.
but I would love to see him beat one of those names just to get back
in the mix.
Imagine we got all that going on.
Pacquiao, Broner?
Not too excited about it. It's a little bit of not a has-been fight, but they were both better years ago. Bro, there's too many dream fights. If I have to pick one, I pick Joshua versus Wilder.
And you're going with Joshua versus
AJ Fury. But that's because in my mind, AJ beats Wilder first.
I want AJ to fight Wilder just so he can knock him out. That's my dream fight. What's your dream fight? Leave your answer in the comments.
How we gonna get down?
Now we are about to get into a section I call knees touching.
It's a section.
No, but obviously you lot when I saw Dillian Whyte, we're going to talk about
knees are touching now.
I know,
Yeah,
but
it just
you lot had a
happens.
lot more space. A lot more
You lot's
space.
knees are almost touching.
No.
Almost.
You like touching knees with everyone, man.
It's good. It's chemistry.
Just don't rub it though. Like when you keep swinging, oh wow. It's kind of nice. Let's get into the Dereck Chisora, Dillian Whyte fight. So David Hayes giving Chisora, he's physiotherapist, he's nutritionist, and Chisora's looking a bit trim. But I always think you can look trim, but it doesn't mean that you're actually you're
Yeah, but you can always look trim, but how he's done it, I've been watching like how Chisora's working, like it's a lot of strength and conditioning and stuff. So he'll be in good shape. But the one thing I will say about strength and conditioning is that it has to be done really, really carefully because it will catch up with you on fight night.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can, if you trim down, you can lose power, and like. But his coach is saying he's not gonna fade in this fight.
No, but
He fades most fights, every fight.
Well, does he?
Yes, he does tire, but at the same time, I don't think.
He has to be
I think
systematic
sometimes
with it.
it's him doing that.
Okay.
But the thing that worries me is if he's doing so much strength and conditioning, he loses that power in his legs. In his,
Not necessarily because a
then
lot of the strength he's doing, like especially the more the more explosive stuff, is very leg based. A lot of this stuff, even though it's very physical, is still 90% between your ears. So if he feels great and feels like he should have been doing this his whole career, and he feels like this is his last chance, that's a dangerous man. I think he's good at making every fight a war. Every time he's gone away and fought against Helenius, he's just always made it a war. Takam knew it was going to be a war, so Takam tried to take the war to him.
Yes.
And he lasted.
And he lasted.
And he blew him away.
Yeah.
Do you think if Dillian Whyte doesn't win this comfortably or more comfortable than last time, it's almost a defeat for him?
No. I think Chisora's a hard night's work for anyone.
That's true. Remember we said about sometimes in a fight you can get hit like he was getting hit in the last fight and it can take it on to your next fight. Remember we said that before?
Yeah.
Do you reckon them big hits could prove costly?
Well, if there's anyone that's going to age overnight, it's Chisora. Because he's been in bigger wars, I'd say. Yeah. He's an older man. But these like it tells like when you have wars. When you have wars, it tells.
And your name's War.
And when your name's War, you're anticipating another war. It can just turn up on fight
I think
night.
you gotta take into consideration as well before his victory over Takam.
No, he's gone.
He got beat out in was it in France?
Yeah,
in Monaco.
Yeah. But to be honest, that's a split. To be honest, I think he won those fights.
Boys, as always, when we talk about these big fights, I want to know who is getting weighed in. Who do you think is getting weighed in?
Oh, mate, I actually cannot call this. So I see a split decision draw.
Wow. And what does that do for Dillian Whyte moving forward?
It does nothing. It kind of keeps him in the same place. You get your purse. It's a tough fight. I mean, I know loads of people leaning towards Chisora, and I can't. I'm literally 51-49, but it changes.
Good maths. What are you saying?
I think Dillian Whyte's gonna win, so Chisora's gonna get weighed.
Yeah, I think I would like Chisora to get weighed in. What we were saying earlier about you can't count Chisora out.
Yeah.
That makes me want him to still have a future after this fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
How's that
good luck.
fence?
Huh?
How's that
That's
fence?
not offence.
No.
I just said I want him to get weighed in.
I went 59
You said
either way.
You said you think he's gonna get weighed in. I'm saying I want him to get weighed in because I want Dillian to win.
Yeah.
But I also want Chisora to have a career after this, man.
Yeah.
Maybe go and fight a Parker or someone. You know what I mean? Get a bit of money.
Yeah. Usyk, that's a very good fight. And it's a perfect fight for Usyk.
Who do you think is going to get weighed in? Well, people, that is the end of the show. But as always, want you to get involved. Let us know who you think Fighter of the Year was, what you think Fight of the Year was, who you want to see in 2019, and who you think is going to get weighed in between Chisora and Whyte. Also, like, subscribe, leave some nice messages for Dan, as you all love him so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.